What is the skill set that you think is the most in need right now?
I would say probably contracting. I think you know that with the deployments, our contracting requirements have gone way up.
And they have, John, you know about all the work that's going on all around the world that the Army takes part in, but they're also looking for crime scene investigators, firefighters, child care workers, nurses, many other classifications. And let me give you a website there that you can go to, civilians. It's cpol.army.mil, and there are, as I said, more than 550 different jobs with great benefits.
And I guess there's a stress reduction program that comes with the Army employment?
Yeah, how about this, John? Not just for those on the front lines, for our soldiers, but starting November 1st, there'll be a comprehensive soldier fitness assessment, confidential online mental health assessment developed at the University of Pennsylvania by Dr. Martin Seligman. This is really a project General Casey is very close to his heart, and it will benefit civilians and also family members, even children. Over the summer, they'll go down to Fort Bliss to schools and put into the curriculum stress reduction techniques that will alleviate, if not reduce, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and that feeling of hopelessness and struggle that many military families and soldiers can feel. It's not an easy job to be a civilian, but you are serving your country, and the benefits, including the competitive salaries, are comprehensive health care, John, something we're all looking for these days, as well as retirement plans. So it's definitely something to check out. You have the website. We're on the job hunt for you. Take care, John.
Great.
Thanks.
And we will get that website on our blog, too, so that folks who didn't catch it the first time around can go to foxnews.com/happening now.
Thanks, John.
Check it out. Thank you, Jamie.
More than 23,000 representatives of private industry are working quietly in collaboration with the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. This according to an exclusive report in the Progressive magazine. The business leaders form a group known as InfraGard that receives warnings of terrorist threats directly from the FBI before the public does. In return, they provide information to the government. According to one whistleblower, the FBI has given members of InfraGard permission to shoot to kill in the event of martial law. Matt Rothschild is the reporter who broke the story. He's editor of the Progressive magazine. He's author of the book, You Have No Rights, Stories of America in an Age of Repression. He joins us from Madison, Wisconsin. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Matt.
Thanks for having me on, Amy.
Can you talk about InfraGard and what this program is all about?
Yeah, it was formed in 1996 by the FBI. It's an FBI program that works directly with businesses across the country. More than 350 of the nation's Fortune 500 companies are involved in it. And on one level, it's like a corporate tips program. These companies, these representatives of these companies, feed the FBI information about threats. They also can give the FBI information about disgruntled employees and have the FBI investigate them. So the pipeline goes that way, and the pipeline goes the other way too. The FBI gives these 23,000 business people almost daily threat warnings that the public never gets, since in at least one occasion a government official, Governor Gray Davis of California, didn't get until he heard from his brother, who was in InfraGard, about threats to the bridges in California.
Tell us more about InfraGard.
Well, the FBI started it in 1996 in Cleveland, and it was working with businesses to, I think, try to break a case of cyber espionage or something. And then the FBI decided to start little organizations around the country. There are now 86 chapters of InfraGard, and the FBI and now Homeland Security are working with these local chapters, statewide chapters, and they have meetings. They have these secretive meetings around the country. And at some of these meetings, the FBI and the Homeland Security agents tell business people what their responsibilities are during times of an emergency or martial law.
How did you learn about this story, Matt Rothschild?
Well, Amy, it's interesting. A friend of mine who works in radio told me about it because I had been on his show talking about the May 9th, 2007 National Security Directive that George W. Bush had issued, that National Security Directive on national continuity policy. Bush gives to himself the power to control the whole government and the responsibility to take care of our Constitution, if you can believe that, given what he's done to our Constitution so far, in times of an emergency. And in that document, that May 2007 document, Bush talks about the need to work in times of an emergency with private sector actors. So I was on his show, Lee Rayburn's show, talking about this, and after the show he said, you've got to listen to something we just heard from a whistleblower who told him he was a member of this organization, Infragard, that I'd never heard of, Amy. And it's been kind of hidden in plain sight there, because you can go find out about it at www.infragard.net. You need the WWs for some reason. Anyway, so I finally got around to talking to this whistleblower because I was a little skeptical. You know, I've been an editor for 28 years, so I try to be skeptical about just about everything. And this idea that they would have permission to shoot to kill in times of an emergency, that struck me as a little bit out there. And yet I talked to him. I took careful notes. He described a meeting at a place where Homeland Security and the FBI were giving a talk to maybe 30 people. I took the information back. I called around to where the meeting was held. I talked to other Infragard members who confirmed that that meeting actually had taken place and that there were FBI agents there and a Homeland Security agent there. And so I was beginning to believe what this guy said, and I do believe what he said because he has no motive to actually tell me this. He was a member of Infragard. He showed me his little Infragard card with his email address on it and with the emergency numbers of Homeland Security and FBI on the back in case of emergencies. And so I tried to find other people and did manage to find other Infragard members who would talk to me about this emergency preparedness exercises that the FBI and Homeland Security has been conducting with these 23,000 business people around the country, and one other member of Infragard confirmed to me that she had actually been at meetings and participated in meetings where the discussion of lethal force came up as far as what business people are entitled to do in times of an emergency to protect their little aspect of the infrastructure.
But just to clarify, Matt Rothschild, who exactly is empowered to shoot to kill if martial law were declared? The business leaders themselves?
The business leaders themselves were told, at least in this one meeting, that if there is martial law declared or if there's a time of an emergency, that members of Infragard would have permission to protect, you know, whether it's the local utility or, you know, their computers or the financial sector, whatever aspect of the infrastructure they're involved with, they'd have permission to shoot to kill, to use lethal force to protect their aspect of the infrastructure, and they wouldn't be able to be prosecuted, they were told.